this is what I want to do, okay? Yesterday, we had a Brodes barbecue where I asked you 6 Phillies questions, and it was intense. A lot of fans were angry. I was fielding a ton of calls. People who had season tickets were just disgusted with the product, and all we did was essentially get out our frustration together. But what do you do normally if you go back to your college days the following day after a party? You pick up the pieces. You all sit around, you clean up, you get stuff done right at the house, you clean up the party, and then you go over what the hell happened. You tell crazy stories, and you reconnect on what was. Well, that's what we're going to do in regards to the Brodes barbecue. What was all that complaining for? What did we get at the end of that bitching and complaining 4-hour show? What's it all mean? And what I realized, I am watching without caring anymore. The playoffs, they're out of the playoffs, they're in the playoffs. I don't care. How does Kyle look? I don't care. The new addition, Luis Arise. Is it nice to have him back? I don't care. How about Duran? He got a big save. I don't care. I am now in the state of not caring. And the analogy I'll give you is my feelings that I'm having right now. It's like being in a relationship when arguments finally stop. But it's not because everything is actually okay, but it's because you're too exhausted from arguing to argue anymore. You are worn down. And this group has worn me down so much to the point where anything they do on a game-by-game basis, on a day-by-day basis, I don't care. I really don't. It's not one of those defensive mechanisms where I'm holding out hope and I just don't want to have my heart broken. There is zero hope. There is zero belief. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. And right now, as we currently sit here, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And it's very annoying to be here because I love the Phillies. I want them to succeed. I miss real Red October baseball. But this is garbage. What they are giving us is straight up trash. And at some point, I'm just going to organically react to it. And now, when I watch them, it's in one ear, out the other. So here's my question for you at 215-592-9494. Do you care about what happens each night? Do you still watch with expectation that they can do something positive? So when you watch Kyle get a big home run, you go, hey, he's getting off the schneid. He's getting hot again. Or if you watch Bryce Harper maybe hit 2 home runs in a game, you think, hey, maybe Bryce can do this. If Bryce can do that. If Sanchez has a beautiful 7-inning shutty, do you think to yourself, well, if we have that starting pitching, maybe we can do this? I don't look through the lens anymore of this group actually being able to do anything with whatever transpires on the field. It doesn't move me. It doesn't hit me. I'm a blank stare every time I watch, or it's a blank listen whenever I'm listening to Scott Fransky. It's just background noise, and none of it matters. And that hurts. It hurts to admit out loud, and that's something that I realized as we ripped the team yesterday. Now, I'll give you another reason why they just aggravate me outside of just what happens on the field. It's all this he said, she said, little drama with Don Mattingly, Bryce Harper, Zach Wheeler, JT Realmuto. When they had issues, Zach didn't like that Don pulled him early. He was barking at Don publicly. JT never got a talking to after he got doubled up, standing on third base, trying to run back to second. No one communicated with him. The manager didn't even speak to him. I'm just so tired of all the little crap that occurs off the field, too. In fact, I want you to take a listen to what Don Mattingly had to say yesterday about Bryce Harper, what's going on with his injury, the leg, the whole thing. Take a listen.
Harper appeared to be in some discomfort during that last plate appearance. Is he all right?
I think so. I guess you get to the point if he's hurt or hurting, then we probably should just sit him and let him get healthy at this point. So if he's hurt, he's saying he's not hurt. no different than before. So, we just go to the medical every day, tell us he's available, make a decision.
See, I don't even enjoy dealing with hearing them talk about anything either. Everything they do, their entire presence, makes me want to punch myself in the face and stab my eyeballs with a fork. I swear to God. Because now here we are with the manager basically admitting, listen, this guy needs a day off. This guy needs a few days off, but he keeps showing up saying the medical team approved that I can hit the field again today, coach. So it looks like you pencil me right in to right field and you pencil me in to that third batting spot because I ain't going anywhere. It's clear he's limited. And the fact that Bryce tries to downplay it and go, I'm not injured, I'm not hurt, I'm not feeling anything. You could barely pick up your damn leg and stride when you're at the plate late in the game. So he's being selfish because he wants 162. Don Mattingly is vomiting out of his mouth every single day. Nobody communicates. It's not worth it. I realized after the Brodes barbecue that it's just not worth my energy anymore. I got it all out. I got what I needed out. Now I say this, and they're going to do something tonight that makes me so pissed that tomorrow I'll lose a gasket again. So whatever. But it's just disappointing that after everything we've gone through with this group, this is how it's going to end. With me being so sour, and every time I digest what they put on the field, it makes me throw up. They are so dysfunctional. They can't put anything together consistently. They're not a likable group. And I don't care anymore. 215-592-9494. When you watch or listen to these games, do you watch the game with the idea of this mattering to who they are? Because when I watch regular seasons, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the Flyers, whether it's the Eagles, I absorb the regular season so then it can tell me something about their DNA and their makeup. Okay, because they do this, it means they can do that in the playoffs. There's meaning behind it. There's no meaning behind this anymore. I feel we already have the answer. So that's most likely why. We know. Come on, man. You know. But maybe there are some of you still holding out hope. All right, 215-592-9494. That's the phone number. We will take your phone calls here as we have a power hour leading up to the Field of Dreams game. Let's go to Heavy to kick things off. What's up, Heavy?
Yo, Brodes, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Brodes, I can't not look at this schedule and not just feel and not have a realistic view on this team. Like, they got, 64 wins. They got 40 games left. They got to go 25 and 15. And if you look at this schedule, it's just going to be tough for a team that's got no momentum. Just about everybody's shot. They got no offense going. They just don't look good. And for a team that has to win a decent amount of games to really lock up that playoff spot, these guys just don't seem like they can do it right now. And they don't have the personnel, honestly. Like, you look at this bullpen's complete ass. Every time Alvarado goes out there, you know he's not going to do anything good. And who else do they got? And not just that, bro. It's like, at some point, if they are going to make the playoffs, this is probably what we're going to get.
Yeah, no, it is.
At some point, if they think they're going to make the playoffs, bros, they got to start transitioning guys like Andrew Painter into a reliever role. Like, when are they going to do that? Like, it's just, bro.
Well, because they need him to actually pitch as a starter. They have to use him to get to the playoffs first. But, all right, so it seems like this, though. When you're speaking, you're talking about things that need to change over the next 40 for you to feel there is light at the end of the tunnel. What I mean is, it's almost as if you still feel what they do can change your opinion. You're still open-minded that if they go 25-15, or if they do this, if they do that, then you can believe again. There is still a smidge of your heart being open, where for me, I'm just door shut. I don't care. I'm out. But you still have a little bit of that door open. Am I correct with that assessment?
Brodes, it's baseball. Anything can happen.
Here we go.
But I'm certainly leaning towards the negative with this team. It's just, Brodes, there's just too many things with this team. I mean, Brodes, the fact that they haven't hit a walk-off home run in over 3 years, like there's so many things that about this team that they're just not clutch, Brodes.
No.
They are just not clutch.
No, they're not.
For a team that has to get big hits, has to win these big games coming down the stretch, I just don't see it. And Don Mattingly, Brodes, there's a reason he wasn't a steady manager, and we're seeing that.
Yeah,
now.
he's and Heavy, I appreciate the call. He stinks. Don Mattingly flat out stinks. So that's another element, is you just got a guy that he doesn't care. You want to know why I don't care? When you listen to Don Mattingly, do you get a sense that this guy is rocking and rolling and putting every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears out there to try and get this thing right? Hell no. And his son's the damn general manager, and he's still unwilling to do it. Now, whether that's because he's got a little inkling that maybe Alex Cora is the next guy and Dave Dombrowski doesn't want to move forward with Don, I don't know. And then he's just being a baby and an unprofessional if this is how he's handling it. But he doesn't care, so why should I care? You got any thoughts on this, Buzz? I just can't care anymore. I know you care deep down.
Well,
I do too.
Not even deep down, on the surface as well.
True.
In reference to Mattingly, it's the first time we've agreed on anything baseball in a while. He stinks.
He's awful.
He's a bad manager.
Bad.
I was debating this with Spike on the afternoon show earlier this week. A lot of people wanted him because if the argument was Thompson didn't carry the stick, and so this guy carrying more cachet, and they didn't make an error for a while after he took the job, and he'll bunker down the little things. He hasn't done that. That's not all his fault. Partially, it's the personnel you have. But also, this guy can't manage a bullpen to save his life. Like, he's a bad in-game manager, and frankly, like, I'm not saying Rob Thompson's time wasn't over. Like, you went 9-19. That's just what happens in baseball. Is you got to change something, and you can't cut the team. So
he looks better now, though. I'll tell you that.
Cut the manager. Rob Thompson, I 1,000% appreciate Rob Thompson more now than Don Mattingly. Thompson was genuinely one of the better, if not one of the best, tactical managers, players, managers, etc., that I feel the Phillies have had in my lifetime. I mean, everyone will always hold Charlie in another realm, which I don't know that Charlie was the greatest tactical guy either, but all the players loved him and he won. Thompson, I think, was good at both things. He doesn't have the World Series to show for it. And then there's Mattingly, who I feel like I'm watching like Joe Girardi again. Like, I really just don't think he adds to it. It's not the top of this team's issues. They obviously were getting carried by like 6 or 7 elite players at the top of their roster. Wheeler and Sanchez have not been as good since the All-Star break. Harper and Schwarber have not been as good since the All-Star break. And the bottom of the roster just frankly is not good enough to pick up the slack when those guys are down. And now you're seeing a team hanging on for their playoff lives. Of course I care. I can't bring myself not to care. I cared when this team lost 100 games.
Yeah, I don't care.
But it's frustrating. It's like me asking you to not care about the Flyers. It's
right.
It's just impossible for me to not care.
But I care.
But
I
don't have great expectations for this team. We all see the flaws every day. It's impossible to ignore.
But when you watch, do you watch with the idea that they can act, what they do can actually relate to, if they were to turn it around, you will open up the door for a possibility of there still being something in there? Because even if they show flashes, I'm not buying that that's going to relate to anything. Do you think there's a chance that what they do over the next 40 can actually relate to a positive push in the playoffs? Because I can't see it.
No, I don't think that would. I don't think that would relate to the positive push. I think their best chance would be similar to what happened in 2022, which is that they like back their way in and then someone casts a magic wand over their head and they become the greatest baseball team whoever lived for 1 month. Like that is their chance. That is their chance to make a deep playoff run here. One that doesn't make any sense, one that no one can really see coming. They hang on for dear life, they get in, and then the team is virtually unrecognizable for a month.
All right, well, let me follow up and read
Which has
this.
happened. There have been examples of
course.
that, yeah.
There's one that happened this year. So with the Red Sox, what are the odds that not only does something like that happen, very rare, something like that is going to happen to two teams in the same exact season, months apart from one another, let alone it happening is bizarre what the Red Sox did. Now you're going to have two teams go from dead to unbeatable and the hottest teams in the world, and they're both going to do it within the same season, months apart from one another?
No, I think doing it in the regular season is different from the playoffs. We've seen teams get out to slow starts and turn it around. What the Red Sox did was incredible, but they still have to hold their spot right. Like the 162 game sample size, the baseball playoffs are funny. Hockey playoffs is kind of like this, but at least in hockey, it's half the number of games as baseball, and the playoffs are a little bit larger. The fact that you go from 162 to like a 3-game series, like genuinely, the Baltimore Orioles could beat the Dodgers in a 3-game series. Like it could happen.
Yeah, we lost to the Cardinals and the Mets.
It's bizarre. It would. I don't view what the Phillies would have to do in October as the same thing as the Red Sox turning it around and over the course of 162 finding their way in the playoffs when their odds look bad in June.
All right, well, I don't have any hope, and I don't care about them, but I do. Obviously, that's just what you say when you're this beat up. I'm destroyed and annihilated. Alex in Kutztown, what's up, Alex?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
What's up, Alex? I'm doing good, man. What's up?
No, attacked by my dog. In my backyard.
Oh, no. I'm going to put him on hold. It doesn't sound too hot. Ryan in Limerick. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Brodes. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Hey, I just wanted to call in. I'm hoping you are mushing the Phillies in a good way like you did the Flyers, because I called in about a month before the Flyers season ended, and you kind of said the same thing.
Yeah, that 3% chance was a miracle, and we'll see what this team ends up being. But more times than not, when I do this, I'm right.
I do also agree with everything's leaning negative, and like I would have to say since the All-Star break, it's background noise for me. So, I have it on, but I'm not really paying attention to it.
Yeah, okay, so you can't really be swayed by anything that occurs outside of a 35-5 run in their 40 games, which is not going to happen. If they do, 25-15, okay, it's nice, but it really isn't going to be what we need it to be to win us over. They had their opportunity, and they already fell flat on their face. So I think they missed their chance, and now it's just get me to the finish line so I can move on to the next thing. That's where I'm at.
I agree, and I do have a question for you.
Sure.
If Schwarber and Harper continued playing this way the rest of the season, or average, I guess, maybe the rest of the season, would you consider that to be a good season for them?
Interesting, and thank you for the call, Ryan. Kyle, no, because he's just not hitting for enough power, and he had a great start, don't get me wrong. If this is what Kyle Schwarber is the rest of the way, no, not good enough. Now, if this is what Bryce Harper is the rest of the way, I'd say he had a fine season, not a good season, not a bad season. It's fine, but he's not a game changer anymore. At that point, he's just a complimentary piece. His body, where he's at physically, what he's providing at the plate, you can survive with somebody giving you what Bryce Harper is giving you offensively, but that's a complimentary player. It's not a game changer. So if we change the way we view Bryce Harper, then sure, I think you can label that as fine or good. If you look at him as it's Bryce frickin' Harper, he's the face of the franchise and supposed to carry you places, then it would be a disappointment. It just depends on how you view it. So it wouldn't be a bad season. He's walking a lot more. A rise, I'm sure, has a lot to do with that. And teams are willing to attack other players. We saw that with them, doing it to Kyle Schwarber to load the bases up to get to Trey Turner. It was a fly out to right field. It worked out. So Kyle would be, no, not a good enough season. Bryce would be, it's fine. It's not a good season. It's not bad. It's just kind of there. It's fine. It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't good enough. And I would be very open to having discussions about long-term plans with them. I'm at the point where we need to have an escape plan for this mess. I'm not just running this thing into the ground. It's time to be a little, what do they say? Forward thinking. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Forward thinking?
Yeah, well, you got to be progressive, precautionary, something along those lines. You got to get out in front of this crap before you have to watch 5 seasons of this disgusting baseball. 215-592-9494. All right. That's where we start this program. Coming up next, I see everybody on hold. I'm going to get to you. We're going to begin leading off, but we're not going to change the Phillies conversation. So we'll continue to rock your calls, get your feel on the fight-ins, and so much more. It's Brodes. It's 94 WIP. All right, let's go back to Alex, who had phone issues. What's up, Alex?
Yo, bros, you got me?
I got you. You sound cleaner.
Yeah, all right, good. Yeah, I'm out here in the Amish country, so it's pretty hard. But I just wanted to call in and say that the Phillies are fine.
Really?
Just relax. You remember when Aaron Rodgers, what was that, in like 2010 or whatever? He was like, just relax.
Yes.
Just relax.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, my dad and my grandfather, at the beginning of every season, they say it's a long season. And I know they only got so many games left, but this team is going to get hot. Like,
why do we feel that way, though?
Bryce Harper's going to get hot.
Is it possible they can't, though?
No, it's not.
Why?
Rhodes
Why?
is not.
Why, though?
For a while.
No, this is what, Alex, this is what you need to realize. Because when we look on paper and we see Kyle and we see Bryce and we see these big names,
Yeah, but the game's not played on paper.
No,
bro.
I know, but we feel they are better players than they actually are at this stage of their career. I don't know if they are what we want them to be.
Bros, they're gonna get hot, bros.
Oh, here we go. Who's gonna get hot in the bullpen?
Here we go.
Who's gonna get hot in the bullpen?
Bryce Harper's gonna get hot. Schwartz is gonna get hot.
Here we
These
go.
guys are gonna get hot.
Here we go.
It's time, bro.
What about the pen? What about the pen? Who's flipping the switch in the bullpen? Painter? Is he getting thrown into the fire?
It doesn't matter if you score.
It doesn't matter if you score what. We're scoring what?
5+ runs a game.
Alex, you make me sick. You make me sick. I wish your phone stayed like garbage.
I don't think he actually believed. He started laughing. There's no shot he believed any of that.
No, he did. But I think he was being a little funny about it. But I do think it sounded genuine that he's one of those guys that know there's so much that occurs over the 162. He doesn't seem to bite one way or the other, and he just waits for October. And he's hoping that the Bryces of the world, the Kyles of the world, they play better than they have as of late. Because we know Kyle is better than this. So we think, unless this is the new reality and this is who they are. But it did feel like he maybe had some optimistic big picture view from the start and knew that there'd be bumpy roads and peaks and valleys, and he was prepared for it, unless he's just messing around with me. The player to count on is brought to you by Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, New Jersey. Honest pricing, dedicated service every day. My player to count on is going to be Luis Ariz, because he's come in here and it's been a struggle for him. He's grounding out into double plays consistently, and he's not getting the timely hits. And, well, he was put in a position, whether it's fair or not, to be that guy. And we need him to be that guy. I'll go to Joe in the Northeast. Let's do that. What's up, Joe?
Yo, what's up, bro, man?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, man, I'm on the optimistic side, brother.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. And, you know, I let me give you a quick background. My father is the type of Phillies fan. If the Phillies lose, it's who we thought they were. If the Phillies win, it's lucky. Like, we've been fans for 40 years now. But I'm optimistic. I think if Mattingly had the gonads to make a quick change, I'm sick and tired of Alec Bohm. I want to move Bryce back to first so he doesn't have to run much. I would put Derek Hill back there. He's batting higher than Bohm. And I know Bohm is doing better these last couple of games, but I'm just sick and tired of Alec Bohm. Keep Alvarez at second. I think it'll make our outfield way more athletic. This guy's batting .228, Bohm is. I'm just done with him, but he's like the darling of the Phillies. I would love for that change that happened. I think it will make us a little bit better. But here's the other piece too. I'm looking at the schedules here. Dude, we're better than the Padres. I think despite the record, I think we're better than the Cubs. we own the tiebreaker with the Padres. And the Padres, they got to deal with the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers at the end of the season. And I know we got to deal with the Rays, but I have a feeling the Rays are going to, like, rest their guys ready for the playoffs. They're 6.5 already up on the Yankees. So we all know this about baseball. You go in hot, usually you stay hot, and things happen. That's how the Phillies made the World Series last time. They got in hot. I just feel very optimistic about it. And now for tonight's game, too, like, I just love when Philly's on the spotlight. You know what I mean? When we play these type of games, I'm just so happy just to be like, yo, Philly's on the map. And that's just me being a proud Philadelphian. But I'm optimistic. Now, you made a great point about Mattingly, or one of you guys did. This guy's pissing me off. Like, I'd rather fire Mattingly now and give me Dusty Baker at this point.
Oh, go Dusty
like, he
Baker.
would manage this team much better.
Could you imagine, Joe? I appreciate your phone call. Thank you so much. I appreciate your optimism, even though I don't share.
Dusty Baker's not coming out of retirement.
So we're going fire Rob midseason to Don. And then we got to fire Don to bring in Dusty.
He's the first interim manager to ever be fired.
He deserves it, though, to be fair. He stinks. But I don't share the optimism. I respect it, and I appreciate you chiming in. But I'm a little stunned because that's 2 calls in a row that gave off that vibe. I thought there was a consensus around this city. Screw this team. I thought that was the consensus. Screw them. They're annoying. I hate them. They stink. They're this, they're that. But I guess there are a lot of people going, none of this matters anyway. All right, listen, I appreciate it. We'll listen to Phillies baseball from the Field of Dreams coming up next right here on 94 WIP.